The final stretch of the ocean race is upon us, and 5 teams of the world's best offshore sailors are still being pushed to the limit every step of the way.
The most intense leg.
Tight competition.
24 hours without sleep.
Amazing support.
Maneuver after maneuver.
High speed.
Wind farms.
Total focus.
Just relentless.
Come down. Go for the line. Go, 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 go. Absolutely insane. Right, there's nothing like it.
This is ridiculous. We're sailing 120.
Getting closer.
Come down, come down.
To win the leg to the Hague would mean the world to me.
As we reach the business end of the 14th edition of the Ocean Race, a 3-way battle for the title has emerged after 5 legs of intense racing. The first leg from Alicante to Cabo Verde and the second leg through to Cape Town were both dominated by Team Holcim PRB. They set the pace and quickly became the team to beat on top of the scoreboard. The third leg from Cape Town to Itajaí was the longest in 50 years of ocean race history. Team Holcim PRB once again took an early lead and picked up maximum points at the midway scoring gate, but the chasing pack closed the gap. And after a grueling battle through the Southern Ocean, Boris Herrmann's Team Militia overcame a barrage of challenges and flew into the lead on the home straight. They were first to touch dry land in Brazil, pushing the series leaders to second. Leg 4 from Itajaí to Newport, Rhode Island was undoubtedly the most dramatic and dangerous leg of the race so far, with both Holcim PRB and Guyot Environment Team Europe not able to finish the leg due to being dismasted in treacherous conditions. Of the 3 teams to last the distance, it was 11th Hour Racing Team who crossed the line as winners, taking their first leg victory of the race so far, as well as the lead in the overall standings for the first time. Leg 5 was a short, action-packed sprint across the Atlantic from Newport to Aarhus in Denmark, which only featured 4 teams as Guyot Environment Team Europe were unable to fix their mast in time for the start. Team Militia set a new monohull world record for distance travelled in a 24-hour period. But it was 11th Hour Racing Team who were the fastest overall for the second time running.
It's great. Obviously, the goal is to be sitting in this position in July, but certainly this is a big step in the right direction.
So, 11th Hour Racing Team extended the lead over their rivals, putting them in pole position for the title. As we approach the final 2 legs, with the top 3 teams only separated by 4 points, it's still very much all to play for. While the teams make their preparations for the next leg, there's a crucial lineup change for Holcim PRB. With the focus on regaining the overall lead, the team will look to new skipper Benjamin Schwartz for the final 2 legs.
It's a big task that we have in front of us, but I think we are as ready as we can in the time we had to prepare. So now it's up to us to get the team back where it should be. And from there, we're gonna focus, on the sailing side and keep focus on the sport.
For last place Guyot Environment Team Europe, there is cause for celebration as they make their long-awaited return to the race. It's an emotional moment for skipper Benjamin Dutroux.
For sure, nobody can imagine what we can feel now to be support and to be here. Back in the race, because for sure at one time we were so down and we say, okay, we'll come back at home, and at the end, with the power everybody, we are here. So the human are sometimes amazing. Yeah.
When dockout day arrives, focus shifts to what will be a short but challenging leg.
It's going to be tricky, a lot of navigational hazards, a lot of exclusion zones, rounding a mark that's up in a fjord. I mean, that's pretty atypical. Very complicated on the way down, maybe a little bit more point and shoot on the way back up, but I think it'll be a full-on sprint at least to get there, down to Kiel tomorrow.
It's a totally different game than what we used to do. So we head off here, and then tomorrow we already see our team, and we will be within sail throne range and side of land, side of the competitors, lots of wind shifts and local effects. So really the opposite from a transatlantic leg or any other big ocean leg that we had so far.
We are really happy and proud to have our boat here, and we know that it's really important. We are back in the race. I think the next one will be really open, and we know that everything is possible on the leg 6. So if you focus on about strategy and speed, we can have a good result, and that's the most important.
Leg 6 will be the shortest but also the most tactical leg of the race so far. Departing from Aarhus, the teams will initially head south towards Kiel, where they will perform a flyby before doubling back on themselves and heading north around the east coast of Denmark. The teams will then make their way out into the North Sea and head south before arriving at the Dutch city of The Hague. The many islands, shipping channels and oil rigs that the teams will have to manoeuvre around means navigation will be crucial and could dictate who comes out on top.
Looking up to windward, we have got Team Holcim PRB and Team Militia locked together here. Abby Ehler on the bow. Can they bear away? It is very close. They just managed to swing to that leeward position of Team Militia. Now, it is now Team Militia that has to keep clear. Team Militia putting that bow right the way down now.
We're still early on the line here, still early on the line. 19. Do not come down, do not come down.
They're very close to infringing here. 10 seconds to go.
Come down, Yo-Yo, come down, come down. We're early.
Bioterm down at the far end. Guyo Environment, Team Europe trying to come through. Team Militia definitely over the line.
Go for the line. Go, 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 go.
And that is a disastrous way to start a light wind race.
Nice, nice. Max speed here.
They've elected to go for the jibe. Certainly smart in my eyes, but they're going to have to sail the wrong direction, clear over the other side of the line before they can make any progress.
After a dramatic start to racing, things rapidly calm down as the boats struggle in incredibly low wind speeds.
As you can see, it's extreme sailing out here. We've just had the puff of the day, which is probably about 3 knots of wind. They've shortened the course, so we just literally got to get ourselves around these next couple of marks through the start line, and then we'll be off.
The calm conditions continue into the first evening as the teams make their way down towards Kiel. It's not exactly the fast and furious racing the boats have been used to, though. It's a little more civilized. The light conditions leave the fleet bunched up, with teams fighting to make the most of any little gust of winds that they can find.
It's very puffy on the water. As soon as somebody gets a gust, they jump back at you. So Militia was like 2 or 3 miles behind, and they got the magic gust, and now they're right next to us.
Overnight, the winds pick up significantly and the racing can begin in earnest. It's Team Holcim PRB who take the early lead, but as the sun rises on day 2, all 5 teams are separated by only 8 miles, and 11th Hour Racing Team are hot on their heels.
So there's not a lot of wind. And the top mark last night, we had a little bit of a boat handling snafu and lost some miles to the leaders, but we were able to kind of sail through everybody except Holcim. Now in the light air, we came up the back of them, and basically we're going to sail under their wind shadow, and most of the routing calls for a jibe, so it seemed like a good time to jibe, even though we were kind of gaining by going straight, but that was going to come to an end, sitting in their gas, so did something about it, jibed off, and going well now. We'll see.
11th Hour Racing Team's decision to jibe proves to be the right one, and in the early hours of the morning, they take the lead as the fleet make their way towards Kiel. Meanwhile, it's been a bad night for Team Militia, who find themselves lagging at the back of the pack.
Really tricky. Not one of the best nights for the Militians, I don't think, but yeah, we lost a few miles on the front, which makes it a bit tricky to catch up, but and had some super light winds, which meant that they then extended further, so we've got to try and catch back up now and hope that the wind goes in our favour for the next few hours.
As the boats head south, they make their way towards the German city of Kiel, a place with a rich sailing heritage. Hundreds of thousands of spectators are expected both along the shore and on the water, and the route around Kiel harbour is designed to give as many fans as possible the opportunity to see the boats up close. 11th Hour Racing Team are the first to arrive, and they have more company than they used to as fans come out to greet them. It's the start of what will be a very special day for everyone on board the Embarkers.
Getting into Kiel, as you can see, there are a lot of boats around, and it's pretty crazy, you know. Everybody show up and check it out. So.
Very narrow place with a lot of spectators boats and paths. Very nice ambience, but it's a little bit tricky when you are going at 23 or 35 knots in the middle.
They're followed in by Team Holcim PRB and Bierturm, passing very close by one another in their loop of the harbour.
We're just coming through the most manic crowd. It's amazing to see how many people down here. Absolutely insane. We're foiling into the fjord now. Absolute top speed, awesome wind, flat waters. Man, there's nothing like them.
These are amazing sailors. They have been cheered around the world. And it's almost like the racers said to them, do you know what, do you want to hear that applause? For the first time, do you actually want to see what you mean and what your exploits and your adventurous spirit means to so many people? Well, come on into Kiel, come on into the fans. You're going to be able to hear them. They're going to be able to give you that push on your way. And I don't think that there will be any doubt remaining in any of the sailors as to the worth for the race and for them as well for this Kiel flyby.
Special cheers are reserved for the teams with a German contingent on board. Guio Environment Team Europe and Team Militia coming through Kiel in 4th and 5th place.
Robert Stanjek and the rest of the crew on board Guio Environment Team Europe, it's a very special moment here to be sailing into Kiel. A very important moment for this team, considering everything that they have been through in this edition of the Ocean Race.
Look at this. All the people. It's crazy to see that many people. I mean, this boat is almost capsizing because all the people are on the same side.
It was a big motivation, the whole race. It's very good, yeah. It's like the dot on the E.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for following. It's a great spectacle to sail through Kiel, and now we're going to speed up and catch the guys.
A huge thank you to the city of Kiel. I'm sure on behalf of everybody here in the Ocean Race and our sailors as well, this is a flyby that we won't forget soon.
After the excitement of the Kiel flyby, it's back to serious racing for the 5 Embarkers. As they head north around the coast of Denmark, there are battles going on at the front and back of the race. At the back of the pack, it's neck and neck between Guio Environment Team Europe and Team Militia, as they spend the night no more than a mile or 2 from one another.
We could catch Guio last night. Like, the wind increased super quick, and we had a beast mode, like full cowboy mode. Super nice to have some breeze again. And then we're sending it at the moment, averaging 27 knots, so we're going quite fast to the top of Denmark.
At the front of the race, it's 11th Hour Racing Team who have the lead over Holcim PRB. And for Benjamin Schwartz's team, it's been a frustrating night trying to chase down their rivals.
They're too far ahead, and that's not good. I think almost 10 miles or something, 10 or 12 miles. So I think they've slowed down a few times, we have as well, and so every time there is hope, and then there's disappointment.
Today is the morning, so I'm told, but it always kind of seems like the morning here. We're just at the top of Denmark, trying to skate by a little TSS here, and we got Holcim in sight. Did a nice job stretching on them overnight, but they got right back into us in a light patch. But we had a good peel, and we're in good shape.
As they pass around the coast of Denmark and out into the North Sea, 11th Hour Racing Team extend their lead over Team Holcim PRB even further to nearly 25 miles, a potentially decisive advantage in such a short leg. Team Milizia find themselves in 4th spots, more than 55 miles off the lead. Just when it looks like the race result might be settled, a shift in wind conditions means we begin to see some changes and the chasing pack making up ground. Team Holcim PRB closed the gap to the leaders to just a few miles.
2.4 miles behind 11th Hour, who has probably less wind than us, so catching up little by little. The wind should increase again, get clear of all the wind farms, TSS, etc. Getting closer!
There is an even more impressive performance from Team Milizia, who first overtake third-place Bierterm, then carry on their pursuit of the front 2 teams. When day dawns on the final morning, 11th Hour Racing Team's comfortable lead has evaporated, and Team Holcim PRB and Team Milizia are breathing down their neck. Any wrong manoeuvre could prove costly.
And what do we do if he drives?
What's that?
And what do we do
We're
if he drives?
committed.
So if we're going to commit, we commit now, we go early, we do it.
I'm asking you your opinion, not the opposite. This is ridiculous. We're sailing 120.
Yeah.
Frank, we're sailing 120 and we're 10 low.
He's definitely going to go down there?
Yeah.
Then it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, yeah.
If he drives, then we've just...
But we don't control that.
I know we don't control that.
For me, we are aiming to the finishing line like that.
Okay.
Otherwise, we are in the...
Are you happy with that? Okay, we go. That's it. I don't think anybody expected the picture to look like it was, like it did.
No.
Yeah, a bit of action with the wind farms. Sometimes it's difficult when you have to decide which side of an obstacle to go, and it creates an opportunity to create a split in the fleet. Yeah, we were maybe a little bit hasty to drive and then realised it wasn't good, but the good thing is we came back quick and got most of our lead back now already, so in good shape. We've only got to win by an inch, although it might be better.
As the front 3 boats approach the finish line, there's just a few miles separating them, and they find themselves in light and unpredictable wind conditions. There are tense moments on board, as any small change could dictate the result of the race.
I would say anything can happen. It's so tight between us.
We're quicker than Holcim at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like header pressure on there.
Header pressure, yeah.
Holcim is in the breeze too.
Diesel?
Probably one of the more stressful finishes. Lots of current against, not much wind.
It's been really patchy, breeze building on the shore, so we've just got to hope the Milizia run out of pressure there.
Pointing straight at the finish, 5 minutes to finish. Oh, come down, come down. We're not gonna make it.
Having been pushed all the way, 11th Hour Racing Team managed to get out in front when it matters and cross the finishing line first. A crucial victory as it makes them firm favourites for the title with only 1 leg remaining.
It lived up to the billing. I mean, 2 boats within a mile of each other with 30 miles to go is insane. So, I mean, we didn't have the lead there at the end. Those guys crossed us and had to work hard to get it back. So, winning 3 legs in a row won't mean anything if we can't close the deal. You know, the point's big, but more than that, it's the swing because, you know, had it not gone that way, we'd be tied going to the last leg. So, just hats off to those guys. You know, they came out hungry, they came out pushing hard, and they sailed a great race.
The battle for second place goes right down to the wire, but it's Holcim PRB who just take it. crossing the line only 1 minute and 20 seconds ahead of Team Militia.
The result is not the one we expected, so there is a bit of disappointment, but we've pushed all through the leg and we've missed a bit of speed at some times, did a few mistakes, so here we are in second place, and I think we can be super proud of what we've done for the last 3 days. And obviously this morning, during the match racing battle with 11th Hour, they played better than us, and we can only congratulate them for that, so well done 11th Hour.
For Rosalind Kuiper of Team Militia, it's an emotional moment as she returns home for the first time since racing began.
10 minutes behind, we pushed so hard, like all the time, and we were so close. Bummer 1 minute behind, but look at this, look at all these people. I feel so fortunate to be here now, and it means the world to me to come into The Hague and to have my friends and family cheering. And I dedicated 1/3 of my life in becoming a competitive offshore sailor, and by coming here now, it means the world. It's my trophy.
40 minutes later, a disappointed Beerterm reached the finish line in 4th, followed soon after by Grio Environment Team Europe.
It's not the place we expected, so we are not really happy, but it was a really nice race. It was also amazing in Kiel. Oh, it was good, but we are really not happy to be 4.
It's not possible to say how tired I am. I'm very tired. So I was already tired before the start, after the big job with the team to put back the boat in the game. It was an amazing leg.
For the third leg running, 11th Hour Racing Team take first place, extending their lead at the top of the table to 2 points over Team Holcim PRB, who will now be their only contender for the title. Team Militia finishing third means they are guaranteed third overall, with Beerterm and Grio Environment Team Europe confirmed as 4th and 5th place. With just 2 teams left in the hunt for the title, the race will be decided in the 7th and final leg as the teams make their way to Geneva.
Everybody realizes that the hardest bit is still in front of us. We know it only gets harder from here.
We managed to play at the front with 11th Hour. It was hope down to the end, down to the finish line, and I think that's the mindset we need to keep.
It could all come down to a lottery at the end, just drifting in Genoa. So we got to keep it all in perspective. We got to fight until the very end.
I mean, it's not over until it's over. We aim to win this leg again. We didn't make it on the last one, but I'm sure that each day we spend on the water is making us better.
Opportunities like this don't come around a lot, and we're on the cusp. It's a time to make sure we get this across the line.